Hello, my name is Bob Roman. I'm with the Outdoor Plus. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the electronic ignition systems that are installed in the fire features. We'll start off with this line of product that we call the All-Weather Electronic Ignition System, or AWIS for short. The system comes in 4 different sizes. We've got the mini, standard capacity, high capacity, and extra high capacity. As you can imagine, it just goes up in BTUs. So we've got 100,000 BTUs that come out of the mini, will be used with your smaller burners. Standard capacity will provide up to 300,000 BTUs. Your high, 500,000, and then your extra high capacity, 1.1 million BTUs for those really big features. As far as specifics, the AWIS Mini has the 3/8 inch inlet and a 1/2 inch outlet. The standard capacity has a 1/2 inch inlet, 1/2 inch outlet. High capacity 3/4 inch inlet, 3/4 inch out. And then the extra high capacity has a 1 inch input, 1 inch output. Each of these systems comes standard configured for one pilot burner. Thus you see the 2 brass fittings here. The extra high capacity, the standard configuration for it is with 2 pilot burners. That's the reason you have 4 brass fittings. Any one of these systems can be configured for up to 2 pilot burners, but that's not the norm. You could order it that way. So you could actually have a high capacity system with 2 pilot burners. They can be configured for LP or natural gas. When we're doing LP, you're going to use an air mixer in the top of that between it and the burner. Here's a close-up view of the box with the lid off. You've got your main valve, and then you've got a primary and a secondary pilot burner gas valve. Also inside here is our controller. This is what our controller looks like when we first get it from the manufacturer. And then what we do is what we call pot it. We put it in what looks like a plastic tray, and then we use a epoxy resin compound that we pour in there. And once it hardens, it makes this impervious to any water damage or moisture, so you won't have any corrosion. It also helps with heat dissemination. And then after we build out the box, we put the lid on with a silicone bead all the way around it, and just to ensure, even though every one of our valves is rated for use in and around water, we like to put the silicone in there, try to keep the moisture out. The pilot burners that we use are different from what we first started with. When we first developed the AWIS, we had a single gas line. That single gas line would provide the gas that would be directed at the igniter and the thermal sensor. The entire time the feature was on, the igniter was engulfed in flame. What we found was on commercial jobs, every about 6 months, because they run them every day, 8 to 10 hours a day, after 6 months, maybe a year, we had to change out the pilot burner because the igniter failed. 2 years ago, we started a test, and the test involved turning off the gas to the igniter and just having a flame on the thermal sensor. And what we found was we had 0 igniter failures in all the commercial jobs that we tested, which was about 50 features in total. These were features that every 6 months to a year, they had to change out the pilot burner. We haven't had to change one out. So as a result of that test, we redesigned the pilot burner. Previous, there was some zinc to it. Now it's all stainless steel brass construction. We've got the 2 gas lines. One of the gas lines provides the gas that's pointed at the igniter and the thermal sensor. The other gas line provides gas that's pointed at the thermal sensor and the burner. So after we get ignition, we turn off the gas that's pointed at the igniter, and even though the igniter is in a hot area without the flame on it, it prolongs the life of the igniter considerably.